Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia and we have a little update on Secret Invasion. While the overall anticipation level surrounding Secret Invasion is pretty high, the premise for the main story was that the Skrulls had already infiltrated Earth, taking over roles of many characters in an attempt to invade the planet. The Skrulls have been portrayed a little bit different in the MCU, and we should expect a very MCU version of the story. But we do know Disney Plus is working on the show, and Samuel L. Jackson will be back as Nick Fury, along with Ben Mendelsohn as Talos. More interestingly, they picked up some big star power, including Emilia Clarke and Kingsley Ben Adir. But both of their roles are still being kept under wraps, although I'm pretty sure both of them are playing Skrulls. Now, we have no idea about the plot of the show. Obviously, it's going to be based somewhat on the comics, but I'm sure they're going to have their own spin. But recently we got some news that has caused some fans to be a bit concerned about what's going on. This actually comes from scooper Daniel Rickman over on his Patreon account. This didn't come from Marvel, and it didn't come from anybody official at Disney, so we have to take it with a grain of salt, but this isn't typically the stuff they share with us, and his stuff Daniel does tend to be pretty strong on. Now, according to Dan, they're doing some reshoots for the show, and not just a couple of reshoots. 4 months of reshoots apparently are starting in mid-July. Now, for me, this does cause a little bit of concern. 4 months of reshoots for a show that should be 8 episodes is a really long time, so it makes me wonder what's going on behind the scenes. There are a couple of possibilities though that we need to consider. A lot of Secret Invasion actually shot while the Marvels was shooting, and this series, along with that Captain Marvel sequel, will tie together in ways that are still unclear, but obviously Marvel has some sort of plans. Since there is a level of variation during these productions of what comes out of those projects, it could very well be that Marvel needed to make major adjustments to Secret Invasion to make it integrate properly with the Marvels. There's also the possibility of the geopolitical implications of the show. If this rumor is indeed true, this level of reshoots could be directly tied with the war going on with Russia and Ukraine. Now, apparently Russia was set to be a significant part of the Secret Invasion series, and if Marvel had to change that up or remove it from the series altogether, that could cause some massive reshoots, including locations, and I could totally see that being one of the problems that could cause this show to reshoot 4 months of content. Now, obviously, there could be some creative problems behind the scenes, but Marvel has done a pretty good job keeping these shows up on the level that they need to be, and I don't really think it's likely that as much as I think it's logistics and/or integrating it with the future MCU. It's also pretty unclear how the Marvels and this show will tie together. I actually think this is going to be a thread on another one of those mini arcs Kevin Feige had talked about that would be a bigger player in future phases of the Marvel Universe, and that might be why they're having to work on this in this manner. Now, I haven't put my concern away yet. Like I said, 4 months is a long time, so I really am hopeful for this series, but I have a little note of caution now because I am worried about what's going on that forced them to do this many reshoots. Now, we don't have a release date on Secret Invasion yet. It's supposed to hit Disney Plus sometime in 2023, but Marvel hasn't given us any dates yet. I actually suspect it will probably drop next June. The Marvels is set to hit theaters on July the 28th, and they may want to place the show strategically to that date, and actually some of this shuffling around could be why they have these reshoots going on. Now, obviously, if we get any more news about Secret Invasion or the Marvels, we're going to bring it to you right away. But I gotta know what you guys think. Does it worry you that Marvel Studios is doing 4 months of reshoots for Secret Invasion? And do you think the possibility for these reshoots could be the geopolitical situation going on in that part of the world? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.